All right, Lee Teat, we finally made it, brother. In the
Playoff time, brother.
2020 COVID year, we got through the regular season. Uh, phase one accomplished. Now we're on the postseason.
Hmm.
1A, 1A through 6A games. We'll talk about them tonight, Lee. All first round games. Pretty excited. And we're going to talk about every game. We're going to pick every game. If we're here till 10 o'clock, we're going to pick every game. Hopefully we're not.
Yeah, I got to go to work.
Oh, I forgot about that. So you won't be able to do that. But we should be able to get them all in. The plan, Lee, is to get 1A in. We're going to try to get 15 minutes per class, 1A, and we're eating up 1A time right now. 1A, 2A, 3A. At 6:45, we'll get Drew Akins on, head coach at Walker Valley. First timer on the Friday main event.
Right, big turnaround season.
Big turnaround season. And then at 7 o'clock, we'll get South Greene head coach Shawn Jones on.
Right.
Those guys have done a really good
Yes,
job
they have.
with these teams, so I'm really excited to talk to them, Lee. But we need to get rolling, man, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into Class 1A. We got our guys ready over here. You guys ready to go?
Rolling.
It's going to be fast-paced, so you guys keep up.
Get your typing fingers ready.
Get your typing fingers ready. I don't know about this bunch we got, Lee. They a little slow. They're a little slow on the trigger. They're going to be picking about 3 games behind us, I suspect, but especially if Hammonds is in the house. Cloudland and Midway, Lee. That's going to start it off. Quad 1, the first game. You got 1 seed Cloudland. Scott Potter's team lost to Happy Valley. Lost to Hampton twice. They lost to Johnson City. Playing Midway, who lost to Rockwood, Coalfield, Greenback, and Oliver Springs.
Right.
Ron Treadway squad.
Got 2 6 and 4 squads, and one's a 1 seed and one's a 4 seed.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cloudland.
From a tradition standpoint, I'm going Cloudland. They've been a really good team for a long time, so I'm going to agree with you. I'll go with the Highlanders. 67% of our Twitter followers, Lee, like Cloudland, so I'm going to go with those guys. And that's at Tennessee Sports on Twitter. You can check that out. We put polls up every week of the games we're going to talk about. What we got over here, everybody likes Cloudland. Unanimous. All right. Well, that's a good way to start the show. Round 2, Lee, Region 2, 2 seed Oliver Springs plays Region 1, 3 seed. Oh, man, you guys have got to watch me because I did some preparation for this show, but you guys got to keep me on my toes. I want you to see what we're talking about. There you go. So if I fail to change the screen, Lee Teat, I'm sure our guys are going to let us know.
Yes.
They'll put them up so you guys can watch them with us. And we were about to talk about Oliver Springs and Jellicoe. Oliver Springs, 81% of our Twitter followers, Lee Teat, like Oliver Springs, like Larry Greene's team. Your thoughts?
I like Oliver Springs as well. I know they're playing Jellicoe, but I think Oliver Springs' competition level is a little bit stouter this year, so I like them in the first round.
I do too. Lost to Oneida, William Blunt, Rockwood, Northview Academy, and Coalfield. So they played a pretty tough schedule in comparison to Jellicoe. I'm with you, brother. I like Oliver Springs. And our guys are behind. What a shock.
Yeah,
well, they may not be behind, Lee, because we're fast-paced. So we're going to see the 30-second delay here. So I'll cut them some slack. All right, Lee, we got Region 1, 2 seed Unaca. Mm-hmm. I said that correctly. Are you impressed?
Yep.
Playing Greenback. And, Lee, watch out.
Yes, sir.
Watch out, man.
Watch out. You're right.
Greenback is back. They lost to Loudon, Meigs, Oneida, Oliver Springs. They've won 2 straight over Midway and Oakdale. I understand. That's not the best competition in the world. But combined score of 69-7 in those 2 wins. They only played 6 games this year,
That's right.
Lee. Had a lot of COVID issues, which I think they've apparently overcome.
They're getting back over it.
Watch out. Greenback's your sleeper in this quad.
Greenback.
I'm with you, brother.
82%.
82% of our Twitter followers like Greenback. I'm telling you, watch Greg Ryan. Watch him. Watch him, boys. Coalfield, the Region 2 1 seed, Lee Teat. Now, they picked up 3 COVID wins over their toughest opponents in Gordonsville, Oneida, and, of course, the Greenback team we just talked about. And I'm not casting any stones
No.
at Keith Henry. Keith Henry's
That's just
one
the way
hell
I
of a
laid out.
coach.
That's the way it laid out.
He's a great coach. 153 career wins. The dude can coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not throwing any stones at him, but they didn't get to play any of their tougher games.
Right.
They are 9-0.
Yes.
And they play Hancock County, who is 0-8. They scored 42 points in 8 games. They were shut out in half of them, Lee. So we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about this one, Cofield all the way. But that quickly concludes quad 1.
Quad 1.
And as I told you before we started the show, I wanted you to give me your pick to come out of quad 1.
Roll back up just a second.
Rolling back up. We like Cloudland, we like Oliver Springs, we like Greenback, we like Cofield. Which one of those teams do you like to come out of
If
this?
they're healthy, Greenback.
Greenback. You really trying to piss me off already, ain't you?
If they're healthy, Greenback.
That was my sleeper pick to come out of this quad. You're supposed to say Cofield.
Greenback.
What's our guys? Cofield. I'm going with you, man. I'm going Greenback. I think Greenback's going to be the upset pick as a 3 seed out of round 2 coming out of that quad. How about that?
I agree.
Dadgummit. I thought I was going to spring that one on you, man. Yeah, you're ticking me off already. We got 6 classes to go through, and you already pissed me off in the first quad.
First 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes. Good job, Lee Teat.
All right.
Let's move on to quad 2, Lee. We got Region 3, 1 seed South Pitt, the Pirates. 96% of our Twitter followers like them.
Yes.
Over Joe Burns. I also like them over Joe Burns. Region 4, 2 seed Monterey takes on Sales Creek. They're 7-2. Sales Creek is 4-6.
Mm-hmm.
Monterey's only losses were to Bledsoe County and Gordonsville, 2 very good squads.
That's right.
I like Monterey.
I'm going Monterey as well.
Monterey as well. Moving on down. I'm sorry, we're trying to move fast, folks, because remember, we got a whole lot of games we got to cover. Copper Basin, the Region 3 2 seed, the Cougars, led by Chad Grabowski, unfortunately had to take a COVID loss against South Pitt, so they didn't get to play for that region title. Also lost to McMinn Central Lee. The Cougars, 63% of our fan base like them to beat Clay County. This, I think, is potentially going to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Clay County, led by Jake Johnson, they lost Stone Memorial, Gordonsville, White County, and Monterey.
Okay.
So they didn't lose to a bad team. Who you like in this one?
Clay County.
You like Clay County? I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with Chad Grabowski. I'm going to go with the majority, and I like him because his son is quarterback.
Yes.
And that's a big advantage, in my opinion, when it comes to high school football. But I think it's going to be the best game in this quad.
I do too.
Gordonsville Gordonsville hosting Whitwell. Scott Clemens' team playing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Teat, 7-2. Their only losses were Trousdale County, Watertown.
2 2A powerhouses.
Gordonsville.
Yes, sir.
All right. Who you like coming out of this quad?
I like South Pitt and Gordonsville to match up in the quarters, and South Pitt will host. Is that correct?
Yeah.
South Pitt.
No. Actually, they would have to try
Okay, they'll have to go to Gordonsville.
Yeah, the bottom half hosts, so
Right.
South Pitt would have to go to Gordonsville.
I still
like
South
them.
Pitt.
I still like them too. I like South Pitt to go a long ways in this state title game. All right, guys, moving on to quad 3. You got Fayetteville High School. The Tigers, 84% of our fan base.
Jacket Lovers has switched the screen. He's on top.
Hey, there we go. Atta boy. That's why I'm calling you guys in. I'm putting you on the spot.
We just went through quad 2.
And now we're on quad 2. We
Yeah,
just
we
went
got-
through quad 2.
right.
And now we're going to quad 3. Hey, we got a delay. Jacket Lover, you got to be faster with correcting me, man.
Yeah. Thank you, Jacket Lover.
We got a little delay between what we're seeing and what's actually going on here at the Friday Main Event studio. So as soon as you see a mistake on our end, point it out. I apologize for not having quad 2 up. Now, Lee, I think we're right. We're ready to go on to quad 3. We got quad 3 on display. My bad. Appreciate you, Jacket Lover. Region 5, 1 seed, Fayetteville High, 8-2, Lee. 84% like them. They play Brewston. I've seen some upset picks on Coach T,
Right.
liking Brewston.
Really?
They lost to Greenfield Huntington by a score of 6-0. So they played Huntington close, and that was the beginning of the season. They also lost to Wayne County and Collinwood. I like Fayetteville all day long in this one. I don't know why.
Fayetteville.
I don't know why they're picking upset in this one. I don't see it personally.
Yeah.
Collinwood Lee hosts Huntland. Now this will be the game in this quad. I think Scotty Hannah's teams played really well. Lost to Richland, Huntington, and McNary Central. But Bob Robertson's squad behind, as we just found out, Colby Stewart, Mr. Football semi-finalist.
I like Huntland.
You like Huntland?
On the road.
Huntland on the road is the 3 seed. Kermit, you like them even though Kermit Reed's the offensive coordinator, right?
Well, 3 of their losses are to Fayetteville.
Can they overcome Kermit being the offensive coordinator? That's the question.
Well, their three of their losses are to Fayetteville, South Pitt, and Moore County. Cascade I don't count because tailback was out.
Yeah, that's right. Had the injury. Colby Stewart was out for that one.
So, Huntland.
Yeah, they played some tough competition. Really didn't lose a game they should have won. So I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go Huntland. I think it's been a good game though. I think Collinwood is
Yes.
a pretty good team. Beat Wayne County last week, Lee, to secure that home field here.
Yep.
I like Huntland in the ups. I guess you would call it an upset. It's a 3 seed over a 2. Moore County, Lee Teat, the Raiders. Really impressed. Got 2 Mr. Football finalists, White and, of course, Kenneth Parker's son, Kyler, quarterback. Two Mr. Football candidates, and then they take on Wayne County. Kerry Cruz is he was 2-8 last year, but improved to 5-5 this year. Lost to Loretta, Summertown, Riverside, Huntington, and Collinwood.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Moore County.
The Raiders, 75% of our Twitter fan base like the Raiders. I like the Raiders. I like the Raiders to actually move on quite a ways in this postseason. Huntington and Cornersville, Lee, probably the other prime game in this quad. Huntington lost to McKenzie and Milan. Cornersville lost to Moore County, Fayetteville, and Huntland.
All right.
Gerard Randolph and Eric Swinson, 2 of our favorite coaches,
Right.
two regulars on the show, facing off. And these guys normally have been facing off much later, quarterfinals, last few years. But here they are in the first round playing each other. Who you like?
Huntington.
Huntington.
Yep.
I like Eric Swinson's team at home also. If this was in Cornersville, I'd give them a much better chance. But the Mustang's tough to beat at home. I love that field. I went there and visited that this spring, and I like them. Dadgummit, Lee.
I'm gonna go Huntington to win the quad.
Huntington go. All right, I'm gonna go Huntington also, and I'm behind.
In quad 3.
What a shock. I mean, switch the screen here, Lee. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
That's a good thing about it, though. The 4th quad is already. We don't have to discuss any games because, of course,
So
Shelby County's out.
Like Huntington over Moore County coming out of that quad?
No. I do not. I like Moore County.
3? Out of quad 3.
I like Moore County out of quad 3.
I'm gonna go Huntington.
You're going Huntington. I'm going Moore County. I like the senior quarterback leading the squad. Even though, well, hold on. Let me back up here. I'm sorry. Yeah, Moore County would have to travel to Huntington. I still like Moore County.
Okay.
I like them. I'm riding that boat. I'm riding that Lynchburg lemonade, man.
Gotcha.
Quad 4, you got Greenfield as the 1 seed. They get a bye. West Carroll as the 3 seed gets a bye. That'll be your that'll be your second round matchup. You got Lake County and Dresden. Lake County a host in the second round game. Who you like out of that quad is what we need. Really, the only thing we got in here we need to determine.
Oh man, I may go Lake County.
I'm gonna go West Carroll.
Really?
I'm gonna go West Carroll.
I'm gonna go Lake County.
Because I have West Carroll high in the preseason. That's the only reason why. All right, Lee, let's move on, man. We're right on it, brother.
Yeah, we're on time.
We are right on it. What about it, folks? MC on that carpet. Yes, sir. I agree. He's talking about Moore County at Huntington. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I just think Huntington may take the air out of it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hey, Eric Swenson's my guy, man. I'm not saying anything bad about him. I just think Moore County, this is their year. Coach White's coming there, man, and he has charged that program up. And
you want to look at those or no?
I don't think we got time, man. We're gonna have to throw that off to next week probably. He's talking about at least talking about the Mr. Football. I'll tell you what, if we got time at the end, we'll hit them. And we're gonna be doing real good to get all these games. I forget every year how long it takes to cover this many games. Let's move on to Region Quad 1, Class 2A, Lee. I've got the right screen up. Are you impressed, Jacket Lover? That's the only question I got. I remembered. I'm impressed myself. South Greene, Lee, and we'll have Shawn Jones on with us a little bit later on in the show. 82% of our fan base like them to beat Cumberland Gap, 4-6.
South Greene.
I like South Greene. I ain't going to spend a whole lot of time on that one. I think they win that one. Rockwood and Happy Valley. Now, this is the interesting game, I think, in this quad, Lee. John Webb's team, Rockwood Tiger Squad, lost to Sweetwater, lost to Kingston, lost to Meigs County. They're sitting at 7-3 versus Happy Valley over in Region 1, the 3 seed. Jason Jarrett lost to Hampton, Unicoi County, and South Greene.
Yes, sir.
So this is a tough one to pick, brother.
Rockwood.
You like Rockwood. You ain't even going to think twice about it.
No.
I think it's going to be a real close game, man. I think I'm going to go with you because Rockwood's at home.
Yeah. I like Region yeah. I'm gonna go Rockwood.
You going Rockwood?
Yeah.
What's our guys like? South Greene, Rockwood, Hampton, Southtowner.
They own it, buddy.
Southtowner's gonna pick them all. He knows there's a delay involved here, and then we're moving fast.
Yeah,
so
he got it.
there you go, Southtowner. That's probably the smartest guy on Coach T right there. That dude is on it, man. I mean, he just. I appreciate Southtowner. I appreciate you putting that link up today, man, for the new classifications. He's where I got that at.
That's
so
right.
that dude is an asset to high school football.
Yes, sir.
We need to figure out a way to get his little rear end over here and get him on the show with us.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we can call him. We need Southtown. We're gonna have to call you, man. Get you on the show. Rockwood and Happy Valley, and you like Rockwood.
I like Rockwood. This
was a toss-up for me, Lee. Tigers, 77% of our fan base like them. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go Rockwood. Hampton and Oneida, Lee, we had people that tell us first of the season this is the best Hampton team Coach Lunsford's had in a while. They lost to South Greene. That's the only loss. Beat Cloudland twice. They beat Unicoi County. Coach Hensley was the one that was telling us that Unicoi County was telling us that Hampton is the best team he has seen. I'm going to go with them. Oneida's kind of struggled here at the end of the season. They lost 5 in a row after beginning the season 4-0. Of course, it was Upperman, Rockwood, Kings Academy, and Meigs.
They're tested.
Yeah, they're tested. But I like Hampton. I think Hampton gets it done here. And then, am I still? Yeah, I'm still in the first quad. I'm sorry. I'll make sure I didn't forget to change my screen. Keep an eye on me. Lee, Meigs County's going to pick up a COVID win. Cosby's not going to be able to play because of COVID, so Meigs County. I like Meigs County to win this one. What do you think?
Ooh, I like Meigs.
You like Meigs?
I think Meigs and South Greene will meet up.
Who you like in the coming out of this quad?
Which one? Meigs.
Quad 1. You like Meigs coming out of the quad?
I think Meigs and South Greene will end up in the quarters.
I do too. I like Meigs. Man, Meigs is tough. They're always tough. Jason Fitzgerald, our buddy, does a heck of a job over there with that program. I like them also, Lee. All right, let's transition, man. Let's go to quad 2. You guys ready? Have we got Big Dave? He went Happy Valley. He flipped on us. I don't disagree with that pick. I actually was leaning that way till you talked me into it.
You might be right.
All right, we are looking at quad 2, Lee, correct?
Quad 2, buddy.
Quad 2's tough, man. Bledsoe County at 10-0. The Warriors, 80% of our fan base likes the Warriors to win this. And Dwayne Tabor, what a job that dude has done, man. He's 18-4 in his first 2 years there at Bledsoe County. He was the offensive coordinator in Georgia. They beat East Ridge. They beat Marion County. They beat Monterey and Sequatchie County. So they're pretty tested. And then Jake Tyre. What a job Coach Tyre's done, man, getting that Cascade program back to playing good football, 5-5. Real happy for the champions, man. That's where my kid grew up and played at. All four of my kids. So I'm really happy to see Cascade playing good here in 2020. But I think their season ends, Lee.
Yeah, Bledsoe, buddy.
Bledsoe County. It's just too. They're just too tough, man.
That is a tough place to play.
Yeah, it is, and they're a really good program this year. And then the bottom half, Lee, looking at that right there, bottom half of that section there is Trousdale County Tyner Academy. Trousdale, 87% of our fan base likes them to beat Tyner. Wayne Turner's team, traditionally a very good team. They lost to Bledsoe, Alcoa, Marion County. They did beat Howard in Central.
Yes.
But I think the Yellow Jackets is too tough.
I like Trousdale, but I think it's going to be a little bit closer game than everybody thinks.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I like Trousdale, though.
I do too. Marion County hosts Westmoreland, and Chad Perry has done a really good job there at Westmoreland, Lee. Marion County at 72% of our fan base likes them. Their losses were to Bledsoe County and Silverdale Academy, and I think Coach Pruitt's done a really good job there at Marion County getting things turned around.
Yeah. I'm going Marion at home.
I'm going with our fan base, 72% like the Warriors. I also like them. Watertown hosting Tellico Plains, Lee. Purple Tigers, 86% of our fan base like them. Their only loss was to Nolensville by a score of 24-20, and that's a good 4A squad. Now I think they won 8 in a row, including wins over DeKalb County and Upperman.
That's right.
I like the Purple Tigers big.
Tigers.
Who you like in this quad, man?
Watertown. Like
Watertown. We had Trousdale County coming out of this quad preseason.
Remember, we thought it would be a toss-up between them two. They typically, that matchup in the playoffs is a good one. I'm going to go Watertown. I think they got a little too much, man. I've been keeping up with them. I think they got a little bit too much.
Trousdale County, Lee, has won 7 in a row.
That's true.
Their only loss was a 3-point loss to Friendship Christian, a 2-point loss to Watertown. I think it's going to come down to those two teams. I think they're going to face off in the quarterfinals like they always do. Unfortunately, that game will be at Watertown, but it has been.
Yeah, they split.
The last 2 years.
They split.
I'm gonna go just for the sake of friendly conversations. I'm gonna go TC. I'm gonna go Yellow Jackets.
Well, as far as like tradition-rich playoff time, that's a smart pick.
Yeah, but I think from a talent standpoint, and no offense to Trousdale County, but I think Watertown probably has got more talent on the field this year.
I think so this year, yes, sir.
This year I do. But, man, them Yellow Jackets, for some reason, man, they turn it up a notch when they hit postseason.
Playoff tough.
I think that's going to be probably the best potential quarterfinal game in the state.
Very, very good.
Agree with that?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's did I change my screen?
Not yet.
Did I change it last time?
Yes.
So I did have quad 2 up. All right, quad 3, 2A, transitioning now. And let the discussion begin. We're doing all right, Lee. We're doing all right. We're real close on time.
Quad 3.
Quad 3 and 2A. And we've got Lewis County. We have Bobby Sharp on.
I think you got 2A still up.
Oh, duh. No, that's behind, man.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I do. Thank you, Lee.
Oh, probably.
Love you, buddy.
Keep up with, man. That's
all
a lot
right.
to keep up with.
It is. Hey, it took a lot of time to do all this, believe it or not. It don't look like much, but
hey,
a lot of work involved in this, especially for the amount of pay I'm getting to do it.
Quad 3.
Quad 3, Lewis County hosting Scotts Hill. We had Bobby Sharp on with us last week.
Yes, sir.
Love the dude. Right. Anytime you're doing anything, Lee, where you get a chance to talk to people like Bobby Sharp with, 272 career wins, and Joe Gaddis with over 300 wins, and Gary Rankin with God knows what, 440, 45, 50. That's pretty cool, dude. It's a pretty cool gig to get to do this, and we like talking to Bobby Sharp last week. Lewis County, Lee, 92% like them. Friday main event likes them, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with them. Riverside, Lee Teat, the Panthers, Johnny Frost squad, lost to Waverly, lost the region title last week, lost to Lexington, and lost to Lewis County by, I think, a single point in the season opener. Good ball team. Tolly told me not to get on him too much this week.
Yeah, he's doing his fatherly duties and painting the field.
He said he's going to try to get over here in time for the show. He'd be in a live chat if he's here, so he must not got done painting. But he'll watch a replay.
Oh, yeah.
So I got a hack on him a little bit.
I like Decatur County, Riverside.
You like him to beat Eagleville? The thing that scares me, you remember, you know what I'm fixing to say, don't you?
Yeah. What Coach Sharp say?
Bobby Sharp said, watch him. He's got Eagleville as a sleeper.
Yep. I like Decatur County at home.
I'm real tempted to take Coach Sharp's advice. But Frost has had a good season, and they did go to the semifinals last year. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Eagleville, you're going to have to prove me wrong here. Corey Wheeler, if you're watching, that's your boss.
Yep.
That's my boss's boss. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to go Riverside, Lee.
Yes.
What we got over here? Southtowner's picking all of them. He's a smart dude. I'm telling you, man. I believe that guy's IQ's off the charts. He's like 3 steps ahead of you. I wouldn't want to play chess with him. He's always way ahead of you. Forest hosting East Hickman, Lee. 79% of our fan base likes Forest, even though they've kind of struggled here to finish the season. They're 6-4. East Hickman is 7-2. East Hickman did get a couple of COVID wins that helped them, especially that one over Waverly. They lost to Riverside. They lost to Houston County. They won their last 5 games, including that COVID win over Waverly we were talking about. Tough one right here, man. This is a potential upset right here, I think.
I'm going to go on a limb.
You taking Hickman?
Nah, I'm taking Forest.
Teaser, huh? Teaser. Lee Teat with the tease.
Yeah, I'm taking Forest.
I'm going to go Forest too, but I wouldn't be surprised if East Hickman did win this one. I think Forest is struggling right now, no doubt.
They are.
But their defense is still playing real well, really well. Waverly Central hosts Loretta. I think Randall Bolden's squad is playing really good, Lee. They lost to Huntington and Westview, beat Riverside, beat Houston County. I think they're kind of peaking at the right time. Waverly, with a lot of starters coming back next year as they move up to 3A, 78% of our fan base likes the Tigers. I'm going Waverly. I'm going with Southtowner.
Waverly.
I'm looking at Southtowner, dude. Southtowner knows what's going on.
Southtowner likes Lewis County to come out of that quad.
He likes Lewis County out of the quad. Who does Lee Teat like?
But he's a tough one. I think right now you got to go Lewis County.
You going Lewis County to come out of the quad?
But if Riverside get past Eagleville, that's going to be a real good matchup in the second round. That might be one good one.
I'm going to go Waverly to take this quad. Waverly would host the quarterfinal round. I'm going to go Waverly to take this quad.
Waverly.
Yep. You got Lewis County, I got Waverly, right?
I think right now you got to go Lewis County.
Yeah, that makes most sense. Quad 4, and let's swap our screen in case Jacket Lover's watching. I don't want him to get on me. Quad 4. All right, Lee, who do you like in Quad 4, man? We've got Peabody.
Bye.
Of course, this is all buys again. Peabody gets the bye. Union City gets the bye. McKenzie gets the bye as the 2 seed, and they would host Adamsville next week. So basically, all we need to know out of this quad right here is who do you like coming out of this quad?
Peabody.
Me too.
Peabody.
Don't need to spend a lot of time on that.
No, I like
Peabody is stout. Stout. All right, folks, that's going to do 1A and 2A, and we are on time. Miracles never cease to amaze me. We're never on time in these shows, ever. All right, we're going to move on to 3A. And 3A this year, Lee, this quad in particular, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I like Alcoa coming out of the quad. Can I preface that?
Sure.
Claiborne, and I appreciate Brandon Payne, Lee, over at Claiborne. He's been sending me their stats. And you guys that send us your stats at Mike at FridayMainEvent.com, we really appreciate it. We've got 3 or 4 teams that do that every week. Claiborne started doing that. I wouldn't know about Storm Life, say, if I wasn't getting stats. That guy's got 1,148 rushing yards, 19 TDs. Lee, he's a leader on defense. Got 13 sacks on defense.
Yep.
Probably should have been a Mr. Football nominee.
He should have been.
With them kind of stats. I mean, he's the reason why Claiborne is 9-1. It's kind of disappointing. And I'll get on my horse here for just a minute. We talked about this, and you and I don't think we agree on this, but there were 4 teams, 1A through 6A, Lee, that had 2 Mr. Football representatives. And Alcoa is one of them, which is in this 3A. And Alcoa, by far, has better athletes than everybody in the state. That's just a fact. Other maybe Pearl Cone. From an athlete standpoint, Pearl Cone could definitely go head-to-head with them. But my opinion is I think there should be something written in, and again, I know you don't agree, but there should be something written in where only one player from each team could make the semifinalists as a Mr. Football. And the reason why I say that, I'm going to explain why I say that. If you're not the best player on your team, how can you make a legitimate argument for being the best player in the state in a classification? So, if we can't distinguish who the best player is on one single team, that's an issue for me. Again, I know you don't agree, but it's really taking the opportunity away from a team like a Claiborne that's not as well known as an Alcoa. And probably both of Alcoa's nominations are better than Storm Life, say, as far as college potential. Probably, I would say they probably are.
Yeah.
But I think you kind of see where I'm coming from with this. These accolades are really, it's a big deal, and I think it should be one per team.
We definitely don't take lightly.
No, it's not. And
I can tell you that.
Yeah, no, I mean we look, we study video, we really look, we really try to do a good job with it, and I think a lot of people don't. But that's just from a personal standpoint. I'm gonna look at a team, and I think I can most of the time pick the best player on a team as far as most important player to that team, and that's what I'm gonna go with as a nomination.
All right.
Anyway, I've strayed off. That kind of bothers because kids like this, I think. Probably should be mentioned as at least a semifinalist. I like Claiborne to beat Pigeon Forge.
Claiborne.
Well, a long way to go with that, didn't I? GP, the Highlanders, Derek Greene squad, Lee Teat, 8-2, lost to Kings Academy, lost to Alcoa, Unicoi County, and again, Jason Hensley. Appreciate him throwing the stats out. I mean, that's the reason why I know Brock Thompson is their quarterback. And they're led by Nehemiah Edwards at running back, sophomore, because he sends me their stats. And that's very helpful for us when we're talking about kids. If I've got your stats and I can see your kids' stats, I know who to talk about. So I appreciate Coach Hensley sending that on to us.
Tough draw for Unicoi County in the first round.
It is.
Tough draw.
I think GP's solid this year, Lee. And Derek Greene does a phenomenal job. I like GP.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the bottom half of that quarterfinal, Lee, you got Chucky Doak and Kingston, and that's a tough game to pick right there. Chucky Doak, 52% of our fan base like Chucky Doak. After the season, I'm sorry, I'm reading what Eric Smith's my boy. He used to do the show with me. Held after the season, so voters for playoffs. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That would eliminate a really bad team that has a stud player. That's the downside to doing that. Eric, quit distracting me, man. I didn't went on my rant, man. Love you, brother.
I'm going to go Kingston.
Kingston
yes,
over
sir.
Chucky Doak. Lee, I'm going to go with you. And the reason why I'm going to go with you is because Gary Rankin, what'd he say?
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for Kingston.
Yep.
So if the godfather
They're
of
improving.
high school football thinks Kingston is legit, I'm going to go with him. I'm going Kingston.
Yes, sir.
Alcoa and Johnson County, no need in wasting a lot of time. Alcoa's going to win. Alcoa's going to win the region, or excuse me, win that quad.
That's correct.
That's just the way it is. Quad 2, 3A. I got behind with my little rant, didn't I, Lee? Why'd you let me do that? You let me get behind, Lee.
Quad 2.
Why'd you do that? You supposed to watch me, man. All right, Quad 2 in Class 3A. Man, we got a lot of people watching tonight,
Yes,
Lee.
Yes, sir, buddy.
You need to step your game up there, brother. You're going to look kind of dumb if we blow this. Red Bank at 7-0. 3 losses were COVID losses, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they didn't count in their overall record. They beat Loudon, they beat Ottawa, and they beat East Hamilton. Three quality wins. Grundy County, Tracy Hayworth's team 2-7. Red Bank, I'm with you.
Red Bank.
Smith County hosts Brainerd. Lee, Brainerd lost to Loudon, Tullahoma, Pearl Cone, and McMinn Central. Smith County beat York. Sequatchie County, Grundy County, very weak region there in Region 4. The Owls, 55% of our fan base like the Owls.
No, sir.
You like Brainerd?
Yes, sir. I do. I think their strength of schedule.
Well, their loss to McMinn Central kind of threw me for a loop because it messed my bracket up, and I had some buttholes on Coach T give me a hard time about that because I went on. I did you tell you a story about that, Lee? I stayed up to midnight doing these darn schedules, trying to get them out for our folks, and I just assumed that Brainerd was going to beat McMinn Central based on their records, and I didn't even take into account that I thought we had a 3-way tiebreaker. I thought we had Brainerd. I thought we had Red Bank Loudon, which if it had been a 3-way, Loudon would have took it. And to be completely honest with you, Coach Herrick thought the same thing. He thought they had it, win or lose against Red Bank. We didn't see Brainerd losing. But anyway, long story short, I messed that up in my initial projections. And
Smith County is a tough place to, but I think Brainerd's strength of schedule is too much. I think they're more tested. I'm gonna go Brainerd.
I am too because it's just like you said, it's hadn't played anybody. I'm gonna go Brainerd. Loudon hosts York. I'm not going to spend no time on that.
Loudon.
Lee, Jeff Herrick's team wins that game, I'd quit my job if they don't. Upperman and Signal Mountain. Upperman at 7-3. Lost to Cookville, Livingston Academy, and of course Watertown. Really good 2A team. Signal Mountain 4-4. Josh Roberts' squad lost to, beat Hickson, Whitwell, and that McMinn Central team we just talked about.
Yep.
I like Upperman.
Yes, sir.
All right, and out of this quad, drum roll.
Ooh, buddy, I don't know. I think Loudon.
I'm gonna go Loudon. I think they avenge the loss to Red Bank in the quarterfinals, and despite the fact that Red Bank
will have to go too Loudon.
No, they won't because if it's the same region, the higher seed hosts.
Well, that might change my thoughts.
Yeah, if it got down to Red Bank and Loudon, Red Bank would host because they're the one seed in the same region.
Same region.
Yep, same region. But I'm still going Loudon. You going Red Bank?
Ooh, I'm gonna stay with Loudon.
You gonna stay with Loudon? Red Bank, South Tanner likes Red Bank. Well, he's the smartest guy in the room, so that kind of makes me nervous.
Yeah, that'd be a good matchup.
Hey, where are we at?
What do you mean?
I forgot what.
We're 3-3.
Quad
3.
Okay, sorry. Excuse me. I'm trying to watch the clock because we got a coach we got to call. I don't want to get late. So I don't like to call them after when I tell them I want to call them. All right, so we got quad 3 on the screen, Lee Teat. And quad 3, man, that quad is getting totally mixed up next year in the new classification because Pearl Cone moves up. Pearl Cone at 6-0, Tony Brunetti's team, 4 straight shutout wins. Lee, they're sitting at 6-0. 91% of our fan base likes them to beat Camden. That's a no-brainer. Matt McConnell's new team. I don't see any scenario where they beat Pearl Cone.
No.
Pearl all the way. They're going to be tough to beat this year, Lee
This
Teat.
game right here is dangerous, buddy.
This is a tough one right here. Toughest game to pick in this quad. Fairview hosting East Nashville. East Nashville beat Maplewood.
Mm-hmm.
Siegel lost to Pearl Cone. They're sitting here at 3-1. Fairview. I didn't see them losing to Stewart County last week. That kind of messed me up a little bit.
I'm going to tell you something, dude. East Nashville is stacked with talent.
Fairview really hasn't played anybody either. That
Man,
scares
dude.
me. They lost to Lebanon and lost to Stewart County. They did beat Page, but that was the first game of the year, and Page was returning 4 starters off of their team last year, so they were very inexperienced. So I don't want to overvalue that win.
Man, does Nardozzi do anything against them? Last week scares me.
Yeah, I was very comfortable picking Fairview before last week. This East Nashville team scares me. They got a lot of talent.
I'm going east.
You're going east. I'm going to stay with Fairview. I'm going to hope it's a fluke because I love Chris Hughes. He's my dude.
But boy, I'm gonna tell you something.
That loss bothered me.
Bunch of stud athletes.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean that's probably the smart pick, to be honest with you, Lee. Our guys have not caught up or is not participating.
Jacket Lover calls to East Nashville.
East Nashville. I'm gonna go Fairview, but that may be a sentimental pick more than anything because I love Chris Hughes. Bottom half of this bracket, Lee, Giles County. They lost to Lincoln County, Hendersonville. They lost to Marshall County twice. Lost to Page. Lost to Pearl Cone. Only win on the field was Columbia, Whites Creek, and Millington. They picked up COVID wins over some region foes, which helped them get to that 2 seed. So I really don't know. We thought preseason they were going to be really good, but I don't really know how good Giles County is, to be honest with you.
I'm going to go Giles against Harpeth, though.
Yeah, Harpeth they've struggled. 3-6. Excuse me. They beat Camden, Sycamore, and Cheatham County. Bob Luke squad. I'm going to go with David O'Connor's Bobcats also. 86% of our Twitter followers like Giles County. Yeah. Stewart County and Stratford, Lee. Stratford is really struggling, man. Only win was against Hunters Lane and Whites Creek. They were shut out. I got something wrong there. Shut out 49-0 at the end of the regular season. I got them beating Whites Creek, and I got them losing the way. I don't know what the deal is there. I got my notes wrong, apparently. But anyway, they've really struggled this year, no doubt. Stewart County, yeah, I think so, especially after that big win over Fairview last week. Yeah. Their only loss was to East Hickman, which East Hickman's not real stout. I know, I got to move. Quad 4. Good thing about it is.
Who you got out of Quad 3? Pearl?
Quad, yeah, absolutely. Pearl Cone out of Quad 3. Quad 4.
Fast right here, buddy.
Yeah, it's fast. We're gonna hit it real quick. Milan,
that's gonna be a
Milan
good
and Covington.
second round matchup.
That'll be your second round matchup right there. Milan hosting Covington. Covington, they've had a freshman quarterback in there. I was thinking Kirby said that he's going to be in until potentially the third round. So given that, I think I'd have to go Milan in the rematch. Unfortunately for Covington, it's tough to win a postseason game with a freshman QB, no matter how good he is.
Milan and Covington, that'll be second round. And South Gibson.
We don't have to pick that game. That's next week.
Yeah, South Gibson.
I'm going to take that back. Maybe I'll hear some news before next week.
Then
you got South Gibson hosting Westview.
Right.
We don't have to pick him. We'll leave that alone. We'll pick those games next week.
How you like coming out of that quad?
I like coming out of that quad. Hey, now you basically going to make me pick it, ain't you?
No.
Yeah, essentially you are.
Who you like out of that quad?
Oh, crap.
I like Milan.
I like Milan. Milan's tough, man. They're playing really good. Got a lot of talent. I'd have to go Milan right now based on what I know and not knowing what Covington's situation is.
All right, buddy. We're
South
right
Gibson's
on time.
tough, too. All right, folks. Appreciate the good crowd, man. Appreciate the
Got two new coaches coming up, guys. Listen up.
Yeah. We're going to roll right into that right now, Lee. We'll go ahead and play a quick commercial break, guys, and we'll be back in about 2 minutes with Walker Valley head coach. This is the Friday main event. Hey, folks, I want to mention another one of our sponsors. That's Elaborate Images. Owner is Marcia Howard. They do a great job for us. They're responsible for our banners, our T-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, all kinds of apparel. In addition, they do bags, they do drinkware, they do office supplies, trophies. It's laser cutting and etching. They do, all kinds of services, and they do an excellent job. We're very happy with it. I haven't had a single one of these hats that somebody didn't want whenever we visited different teams and different facilities throughout the season. So everybody's really, amazed at the quality of their merchandise. We appreciate Marcia Howard and all those guys do at Elaborate Images for us here at the Friday Main Event. Want to give you a little information on them. Again, they are located in Unionville. I do have a link posted on the FridayMainEvent.com directly to the elaborateimages.com website. So check them out, man. They've got some great merchandise. They do quality work at good, reasonable prices. So appreciate everything Elaborate Images has done for us here on the Friday Main Event. All right, Lee, we are back Friday main event, and it's been a good show so far. We've covered classes 1A, 2A, and 3A, and we've got a newcomer to the show.
Yes, sir.
We've got Walker Valley head coach Drew Akins on with us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Hey, it's our pleasure, Coach. You guys, man, you've had a phenomenal season so far. I'm going to kind of recap, give a little background here. I think you were the OC at Red Bank for 3 years prior to that Walker Valley job. You also spent, I think, 7 seasons at Ottawa. I think Walker Valley, correct me if I'm wrong, they were 1-19 in the 2 seasons prior to your arrival on a 13-game losing streak. Now here you are in your second season. You've got a team that's sitting at 7-2, hosting a playoff game tomorrow night. I'd call that a pretty good turnaround there, Coach. What was it about the program that thought you could be successful there at Walker Valley?
The number one thing that I knew coming into this job is it had a hungry community. Is the best way I know to describe it. Just a community that wanted to win, a group of kids that were willing to do really anything that they were asked to do in order to win, and there was a junior group there that's now seniors that I knew had a lot of talent in it. So, the best thing that happened when I got here, though, is the school put great coaches around me. This would have been way too much to do just by myself. And their willingness to hire 3 coaches in building and allow me to put great people around me has really led to a quicker turnaround than most expected.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, you guys have currently won 6 in a row after a couple of 3-point losses to Bradley and to Ray County. Obviously, you got to be pretty happy with how your team's playing right now.
Yeah, listen, I think we're peaking at the right time, and I've told people, those 2 early losses, I'm not sure that we're as good now as we are without those losses on our schedule. Those hurt, and our kids at that point in the year, we're coming off 4-7, still a group that had really never been in a big game. When you look at last year's schedule, our 4 wins, only one of them was really a competitive game. And it was a lot of emotion in the first game that we ever played together. So learning how to win those close games and how to react in pressure-packed situations, I don't know if we learned those things as well. I always said, and my dad's a high school football coach, he's won 250 games in his career. Wow. And he always said you learn a lot more through failures than you learn through successes, and I truly believe that. And we've grown so much as a team because of those failures, and I think we're peaking right now, which is obviously what every coach wants.
Well, Coach, in a season when the COVID has been the headline, I think you actually had a couple of games that got affected by it. I know Marion County and Loudon games, you weren't able to play those games. Are you guys at 100% now headed into postseason?
We are. We've tried our best to educate our players on what they need to do to stay out of direct contact, to make sure they're protecting themselves. And our players have kind of bought into what that needs to be. Sometimes you got to separate yourself from some friends just to protect yourself and protect your team. And really, we've tried to keep our circles as small as you can keep them to make sure that we were able to play on Friday nights. We've had some kids miss throughout the season, but we've been really lucky to kind of not have it infiltrate our team throughout this year.
Well, Coach, in my opinion, you probably drew the toughest 3 seed in the state tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. I don't disagree at all.
Coach Lowe's going to bring that Panther squad over there, and they got, of course, those talented trio with sophomores led by that quarterback, Jordan Potts. What was your initial thoughts on the Panthers when you checked their game film out?
Well, you see them on offense, and you see how dynamic they are. And listen, a lot of times receivers are looking to catch the ball and get as many yards as they can get and get down before they get hit. This group of receivers they have, when they catch the ball, man, they are trying to score. They have no interest. They have no interest in catching the ball and getting down. They're trying to go score touchdowns.
There you go.
The young quarterback, the Potts kid, obviously is a dynamic kid. He puts you in great situations. But here recently, if you watch their film, they're running the football. They're trying to show a physical front, and they got those running backs that are really running the ball really well. So, a dynamic offense and then a defense that they're going to put guys in the box and they're going to go man on the outside and they're going to challenge you at receiver to go win. And they've done a good job of keeping teams away from winning those one-on-ones, and that's given them a lot better opportunity to stop run inside the box, which they've done a much better job of here lately.
Well, Coach, you've got an excellent quarterback yourself in senior Tucker Pope. I think he's got 1,555 yards passing, 18 TDs. He's also rushed for 288 yards, 11 more TDs, and that's only in 8 games. Talk a little bit about, Tucker's development over the past 2 seasons and what he's meant to the turnaround of your program.
Yeah, last year he was a 2,000-yard passer for us, and we kind of leaned on him, and it was really unfair to him. He was a transfer. It was my first year. We were putting in an entire brand new offense, and we essentially said last year, hey, Tucker, for us to win, you got to go play perfect. And what I think it did is it caused him to kind of press. This year he's done a much better job of just taking what defense is given. If they're giving a hitch, then he'll throw the hitch and trust that, Brody Swafford, our top receiver, and Daniel Denton, our number 2, that he trusts that those guys will go make a play for him. And they have all year. Brody Swafford at receivers had a great year. But Tucker's done such a good job of just putting the ball where it's supposed to be and really protecting the football. Last year he got upwards of 12 interceptions. This year he's at 5. He's just not giving the other team the ball, which has led to a really high turnover margin for us. The last 3 games were plus 10 turnover margin, which has led to some big wins.
That's awesome, yeah.
Really proud of what Tucker's done. He's really mastered this offense, and he really understands what we're trying to accomplish. And he's gone out there and done those things.
We're speaking with Walker Valley head coach Drew Akins here on the Friday main event.
Well, Coach, in addition to Tucker, you got 3, I think, solid ball carriers in Tanksley, Jackson, and Mark Rogers. Talk a little bit about those kids, and also, anytime that you got a quarterback that's got that many yards and your tailback's got that much yards, you got to talk about the guys up front as well.
Yeah, no doubt. We knew going into this year that we were going to lean on our offensive line, and I challenged our offensive line in the offseason. If we wanted to take the next step as a program, they had to go get bigger, faster, stronger. They had to dominate football games, and you can see – based on our yardage, we're 1,600 rushing, 1,600 passing through 8 games. And that speaks to an offensive line that, does what they're asked to do. They're creating holes for our running backs. Heath Tanksley's really come on here these last 2 games. Last game he broke the school record for rushing yards in a game. he had 220 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on 12 carries.
Wow.
So he's really come on lately. He had a gruesome leg injury 2 years ago, and he's really just got healthy this year, and it's led to a really healthy season, which has been exciting for him. And then Spencer's kind of our scat back. We use him, catching the ball in the backfield. He's more of a quick back, so it's a nice little thunder and lightning. And Mark Rogers, man, he's that kid that does everything you ask him to do the exact way you ask him to do it, and that's led to him getting some real meaningful stats as a senior. So love that trio, but our offensive line, we're averaging less than a sack a game, and we're rushing the ball for 1,600 yards in the season, and that speaks to Coach Shawn and what he does with them, but their willingness to put in the work too.
Well, Coach, we kind of talked about, we could pull stats up like anybody. We've talked about some of your stat leaders and guys you've relied on heavily this year, but give me the name of a kid, maybe you weren't expecting a lot out of this season, and he's kind of, come into his own, is playing really well for the team. Guys kind of stepped up and made a difference that maybe he's not, one of the top guys we see on the stat sheets.
Yeah, offensively, I think you look at our two younger receivers, our juniors. Cade Charda is playing inside receiver for us, and Aiden Gibson is playing outside, and they've combined for about 300 yards apiece. But what they do is they do a great job of when they do get the ball in their hands. They've done a great job of making plays. Cade's got in the end zone twice at big moments. So that's the offensive side of the ball. Those young receivers and the experience that they've gained this year is really going to, I think, allow them to have huge years going forward. Defensively, man, it's hard to name one kid. We've had such a good season defensively, and it's such a change from Walker Valley's history. But our leader on defense, Eli Denton, he's our leading tackler, but he's just that dog on defense that you got to have. And then here recently, Lane Miller at corner, he's had 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. He's playing with a lot of confidence. And I'll tell you what, with the receivers that we got to go against Friday, we're going to need that confidence from Lane to really go out and play a great football game against these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Coach, just a quick question. I think your last season at Red Bank was also Coach Brown's first season over there. Is that correct?
Sure.
And he coached at Ooltewah. Were both of you guys on Matt Brown's staff together?
Yeah, we were both there. He was there. He was a linebacker coach when I was there, and I was the offensive coordinator over at Ooltewah.
Mm-hmm.
It was my last year there at Ooltewah.
Okay.
We
were very, very close. Me and Coach Brown, we talk daily about everything, and he's somebody that's kind of, I always knew I wanted this seat. I always knew I wanted the head coach chair, and Chris Brown was the guy at Red Bank that kind of put me in that position to say, hey, I'm going to lean on you and allow you to be essentially, head coach number 2. So I had a great on-the-job training under him. He really impacted the way I run a program.
Well, Coach, the new classifications came out. You guys are going to stay in Region 4. I think pretty much the same region as far as Ray County. But you got Ooltewah coming in. You got McMinn County. A couple of 6A teams going to be in region with you next year. What was your thoughts on the new region?
Yeah, I really wish they would have found a way to keep 6 in our, I really thought we were going to have 6, and then they bumped White County to the west,
right.
Region 5. And then, I think there's 6 up top. And I thought maybe we'd get Lenore, but it just didn't seem to work out, which it's frustrating because, if White County was with us, that's one less game you got to go schedule.
Right,
but you know what? I'll tell you what, and I think the thing we're missing this year, Saudi typically has been a good program, but this year they're down, and what we're missing going into the playoffs this year is that, constant competitive Friday night.
Right.
We stole one with East Hamilton, but even that, we jumped on them so early, and it turned into a blowout. So, Powell has been fortunate where they play in that tough region. I know that sounds weird to say fortunate, but they've been battle tested.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going into the playoffs.
That's huge. Yeah.
I truly believe, just like I said earlier, early in the year, those failures can a lot of times lead you to be a better football team.
That's
and
right.
That's the one little piece that kind of gives me some pause going into, Friday night, is we just haven't been in a true battle in really 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And we try to put our kids in battles on practice. So hopefully that shows up on Friday night. But we're definitely going against a battle-tested PAL team, and I hope that we're able to find that. But this new region will give us that battle-tested feel with McMinn County and Ottawa coming in. So, and even Coach Starr at Howard does a great job of getting his kids, being able to play within a scheme. So I have a lot of respect for Coach Starr too.
Well, Coach Akins, we've taken up enough of your time, man, but Lee and I really appreciate you taking time to jump on with us, man. We think you're doing a heck of a job over there. Been really impressive. We've actually been bragging on you all season, man. We think you're doing a good job over there.
I appreciate it, man. It's a whole community of people doing it. Like I said, without my assistant coaches and the work they put in, we wouldn't have gotten here as fast as we have. So I appreciate what y'all do and your support of young men and young athletes. It really, I remember being that young athlete. I remember, going on shows and how much it meant to me. So y'all are making a huge impact, and I appreciate you guys.
Well, thanks so much, Coach. Good luck to you tomorrow night, brother, and hopefully we can talk to you again soon.
Hey, you just let me know when. We'll jump on, okay? Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
See you, bud.
See ya.
Pretty good young coach right there,
Yes,
Lee Teat.
sir.
Good dude. All right, Lee, guess what?
2 minutes.
I'm behind, I know. So we'll go ahead, Lee. We'll go ahead and run another quick commercial, and we will be back right after this. Hey, folks, I want to talk to you about a new sponsor that's come on board with us this season. That's the Cutting Edge. Joan Molder, my beautiful wife, is the proprietor of this establishment, and she wanted to know why I did not have any advertisements for her on the Friday Main Event. Well, that's a very good question. I don't really know the answer to that. Probably because I cater mostly to male clientele, and I'm only permitting very average to bad-looking men to enter that establishment. But I'm just kidding. But yeah, she's got her own shop, and she's very proud of the shop. And she does have primarily a female clientele. She does pedicures, manicures, obviously hairstyles, colors, cuts, perms, anything you would expect with any salon. That she has a tanning bed, so she's got anything you want, and she has the ability to give you exclusive treatment for you women. She's the only hairstylist at the salon, so you get that one-on-one time that you don't see with the big salons. It's a good experience. Again, it's primarily for women. You got that, men? Kidding, kind of. But yeah, she's got a good business out there. She's 99% of her clients. All right, Lee, we are back. Friday Main Event. I am Mike Molder. He is Lee Teat. Lee, we've had a good show so far.
Yes,
we've
sir.
covered classes 1A, 2A, 3A. We just got off the phone with Drew Akins, head coach over at Walker Valley.
That's right.
Really enjoyed that interview with him. Got another really good coach coming on with us now. We got South Greene head coach Shawn Jones on with us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
You're doing great. How about you guys?
Couldn't be better, man. I'm going to go ahead and flip the screen up so people can see what you look like. We'll get your mug up here.
All right.
You know I was asking for a picture of you for a reason, didn't you?
Well, I didn't know what it was for. I thought maybe you just want to see what I look like.
We got one of you in a big Easter Bunny outfit on there. Is that all right?
It's fine. I put that on there years ago.
I'm just kidding. We didn't use that one. Well, Coach, South Greene, they went 3-8 there in 2017. I think Scotty Vrans brought in as a head coach following that season. Came over from North Greene. 2018, South Greene won his first playoff game, I think, since 1998. Reached the quarterfinals for the first time in school history. Talk a minute about what Coach Vrans meant to the turnaround there at South Greene.
Well, Coach Rand came in and, gave us an identity. We, for many years when I was head coach first time, we went to the spread, tried to throw it around there, and he come in and gave us identity of running the football. And, that's what we've decided to do the last few years. And it's really made us a better ball club. And that's, that's a tribute to what he brought in. So when he left, and I decided to take back over we wanted to continue that, and with the athletes we have, we feel like we've been pretty successful with doing that.
Well, Coach, you're able to avenge a 30-point loss to Hampton last year with a 4-point win a few weeks back. Probably more importantly, you forced them over into the bottom half of the bracket with Meigs County, which is the team that didn't have the injury season the last 2 years. How big of a win was that for you guys?
Oh, it was huge. We're down 10 points with 2.5 minutes to go. We were driving there to cut the lead, and Luke, our quarterback, fumbled there on the one, but we still felt like if we could stop them there, they would be okay, because when you got number one, Myers on your team, anything can happen, and that's exactly what happened. We scored there really quick, used our timeouts there at the end of the ball game, and got the ball back and went down and scored with like 28 seconds to go. So it was huge. Hampton's a great ball club, and like you say, the big thing was, getting them in that other bracket. Because Meigs is a great ball club, and you got to go through Meigs if you want to go on in the state tournament. So it was a big deal with that win. Gave us a little bit of momentum here at the end of the year. Going into Happy Valley last week, and now for the playoffs. So we've got to do our job, do what we're supposed to do now, and see what happens, and hopefully get another opportunity to play Meigs.
Right. Well, tomorrow night you guys hosting a 4-6 Cumberland Gap squad, and on paper, you obviously appear to be the heavy favorite, but it's 2020, so can't take anything for granted. First off, I wanted to know, are you guys healthy? Entering the game, and then secondly, did you see anything on film study from Cumberland Gap that you think might give you a problem?
Well, as of being healthy, we've been extremely lucky this year. COVID has put one kid all year in quarantine, and we did have a player have it, but luckily he was away from people at practice and stuff. So we've been extremely lucky there,
Right.
And then health-wise, we're good. But yeah, Cumberland Gap's got some skilled people. We're used to Cumberland Gap. They, when they first started to be a school, they was in our district. I think it was the first 7 or 8 years we would win at our place, and they'd win at their place. And Coach that got there now was there before. He kind of the same thing as me, had gotten out, now he's back in. They've changed it up a little bit. He's trying some wing tee stuff, but they got some quick kids. That's what we got to contain. They're going to try to get the outside. They've been off a couple weeks. Some COVID has hit them. I think they've had a full practice today, and that was the first full practice they've had in 2 weeks with all their players there. So, but yeah, on paper, we're supposed to go do, win this ball game, and that's what I told the kids. I said, we got to go out, do our thing, and if we can put them away early, put them away, and get the job done and move on to the second round.
Mike Molder and Lee Teat discussing Rebel football with South Greene head coach Shawn Jones here on the Friday Main Event. Coach, your team, and you kind of mentioned him briefly a minute ago, your team is led by a very talented quarterback in Luke Myers. This kid does it all. He's passed for over 1,000 yards. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards. I think he's one of the leading tacklers on defense. He leads the teams in interceptions. I think he's returned 2 of them for scores. He punts. He returned punts. I think he's actually was named as a Mr. Football candidate earlier today. Talk a minute about what Luke has meant to the success of this ball team.
Oh, he means a lot. We go as one goes. Maybe a lot of people wonder, where Luke came from. He started for us 2 years ago as a freshman, but he's played behind his older brother. His older brother Levi started 4 years at quarterback for us and kind of played his shadows. And he's a great kid because it's one of those that, he kind of let his brother do his thing, and he can just kind of step back out of the spotlight. Real quiet young man. But let me tell you what, he leads by example. He goes out there. He's the first one at workouts throughout the summer and works hard. And he leads, like I said, with example. And he means a lot to us. Like I say, we go as he goes. That's like I said a minute ago against Hampton, when you're down 10, you kind of got a calmness about you because when one gets the ball in his hands, he can make things happen. And that's what he's meant to us. So it's a joy and a blessing to have him on our side. And like I say, he does it all. He does not come off the field. I think the only 2 special teams that he comes off the field for are kickoff and kickoff return, and that's it. And if it comes to a point in the game, we need him out there. We do put him out there because on our hands team and on our when somebody's trying to onside it, he's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So the kid just means a lot to us.
Absolutely.
From both sides of the ball. And actually, if you ask him, He probably likes the defensive side a little bit better, and that's the kind of kid he is. He just loves being around the football.
Right.
He loves playing football, but he's just a special kid and very, very deserving and being one of the semifinals for Mr. Football in 2A.
Yes.
Well, you got another kid in that backfield in senior Corey Hauser who's having a big year for your Rebels. Talk a little bit about Corey.
Oh, Corey's been great for us. At the end of the year last year as a junior with the team we had last year, he was probably our best running back.
Mm-hmm.
And what we've had to do this year, we talk about identity of running the ball. We've spread it out a little bit more with our athletes, and Corey goes out and catches footballs. He caught a lot last year. In the backfield, when we do spread out, we got Mark Crum, a senior. He's been a great player for us this year. And one thing about our team, a lot of people don't know that we're still extremely young. We got 6 seniors and 5 of them play. So we're we consider ourselves a young ball club, and hopefully that can help us out as we go throughout the playoffs this year. Then looking at next year in the future looks awful bright for us.
Well, when Luke puts the ball in the air, I think senior Preston Bailey and junior Chandler Fillers probably his 2 primary targets. Again, 2 very important two-way players for your squad. A lot of these kids are going both ways for you. Talk about those kids for a minute.
Yeah, Chandler is a big old long lanky guy. He's a basketball player. Preston Bailey, this is only his second year playing high school football. He felt like he was too small when he came into high school and got bigger and grew his first 2 years and been great for us receiving the ball. We got Caleb Robinson. He didn't play last year. Is just a great athlete. He's about 6'2", plays some receiver and tight end for us. And then about 6 weeks ago, we got our best basketball player in the school decided to come out, who is great friends with Luke and those guys and played with them in the middle school. And he's coming on, Clint Lamb. He got his first touchdown catch last week in high school football. So we got a lot of guys we can get the ball out to in space. And that's what we're trying to do. And we feel like if we use a short passing game and get these guys out space, it's really the running game. And, of course, Luke takes off running. So we got some people we can get the ball to. And our line, I want to talk about them. But they've done great this year. Every one of them's new starters. We had all senior lineman last year, and it's just hats off the way these guys work because, with no spring and no off season and no scrimmages, we really didn't know what kind of team we was going to have. We knew we had the skill, but did we have the guys up front? And they've been a pleasant surprise this year with how hard they've played and how well they've done.
Well, Coach, we mentioned some teams in this squad, and as we said, the 2 big names other than you guys will battle it out on the lower half of that bracket. If you get through Cumberland Gap, as we expect you to do, the opponent will be the winner between Rockwood and Happy Valley, which are 2 solid programs. What are your thoughts on those 2 teams?
Well, both of them are very, very scary. We played Rockwood last year in the first round, and they've got some great athletes back. And then Happy Valley we just played last week, and they're very, very scary also. We had to fight real hard to beat them. So
right.
the good thing about playing either one of those teams we win this week is we get them at home.
Right.
And that's what we was able to do last year with Rockwood. But both these teams are really good. The thing about Happy Valley that you hate playing a team twice, especially football, because lots of times when you play somebody more than once, they figure you out or vice versa. And then, like I say, Rockwood's got a really good ball club.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have to play really well next week to make it to that 3rd round and then see what happens against either Meg or probably Hampton or Oneida. That's going to be the toughest game is that Hampton-Oneida. To me, is a toss-up. I'd give the edge to Hampton by playing at home. Oneida, I think, has been off a couple of weeks because of COVID. But, you got 2 great ball clubs there. So it was really a big deal to get really those 3 teams in that other bracket. That's what
right.
you have to do by finishing first.
Hey, Lee's nice. I'm wanting you to pick that Rockwood Happy Valley game. Can you pick a winner for us?
Well, I'm going to give it to Rockwood just because they're at home. I know a few years ago, Rockwood was a 1 seed, had a great ball club, and Happy Valley went up there as a 4 seed out of our district and fumbled the ball on the inch line going in to beat Rockwood that year. I can remember that. I think that might have been 15 or 16 when that happened. That's before Meg got really good. So I think it's going to be a good ball club.
Who did you have, Lee?
They match up well with each other. I just think they match up with each other. But I think because it's at home, Rockwood will pull it out.
Well, we picked this game earlier. I was trying to remember which way Lee and I went. I think we went Rockwood also. But we agree with you. We thought this was going to be one of the better matchups in the first round, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, and then like I say, I mean, I don't know what you did with Hampton Oneida, but that's just going to be a slobber knocker. You know, both those guys like to run the football. I mean, that's going to be a great game too. So Megs, they got Cosby decided not to go. We had a meeting the other day, and Cosby was down. They was down to like 14 kids, and he just didn't feel like it was fair to take those kids down to Meigs County. And I agreed with him.
Yeah, I agree.
And then our game, we hope it's not a great game, but those other two games should be really good games.
Hey, let me ask you something real quick. We're about out of time here. They came out with a new classification, and I think you guys are going to be in with Cumberland Gap, Happy Valley, and Hampton in a 4-team region, which makes a lot of obviously you got to schedule a lot of games on top now. I'm assuming, West Greene, North Greene are going to be a given. You guys will get them. I would say Chucky Doak, you played them for a long time. That's probably who you think you're probably going to pick up for the other games in that on your schedule next year?
Well, I tell you what, besides coaching this season, gray hairs, the last 2 weeks give me gray hairs because people started calling around. I can't get nobody to play us early. Unicoi dropped us. Clallan dropped us. Cott County dropped us, and I was getting nervous. But today we picked up we're down to one team left besides the county teams you spoke of there in the 3 conference matches we got.
Yeah.
We picked up Seymour. We picked up Boone to open the season.
Okay.
And we're going to play Catholic. A lot of people was like,
hey, man, that comes with success, man. Everybody's going to dodge you. You might as well get ready for it.
That's true. And 10-0 is great. And some of the kids are like, Coach, you want to go 10-0? I said, here's the thing, guys. When you have a good ball club like you all, 10-0 is great, but you want to now get ready for the playoffs. So you want to play people that's going to push you and make you better.
That's true.
Yep. And, that's why we pick up the Boones and the Catholics and things like that. So
Yep.
we're down to one team. We got to try to fill a week 9 or 11. That's tough.
Hey, you want Shawn Witten's number?
Well, he's been called. He's called. Greene was called. I could get those games, but we felt like we just was going to take one of those, and Boone was the first one to call. But
I got you.
Shawn Witten's done called me today, so I don't need his number. I've got it in my phone.
There you go. Well, hey, brother, we appreciate you jumping on with us, man.
Yes,
we really enjoyed it, and hopefully we can get you on with us again.
Oh, that's great. You guys do a great job. I've listened to you before, and keep up the good work, and I enjoy being here.
All right. Good luck to you, Coach. We appreciate you, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right. See you, man.
Thank you.
All right. See you. Bye.
2 newcomers, man.
He's already got Shawn Witten's numbers.
Like what he's doing.
Yeah. He's a good dude, man.
Like what he's doing up there.
I enjoyed that interview. Good dude, man. He likes talking about his kids.
That's right.
And anytime a coach is like that, I love it. Where are we at, Lee?
We are starting 4A, buddy.
4A, and we're only 3 minutes behind. That's pretty darn good.
4A,
that's
quad
good for
1.
us. Are you boys ready to roll over here in the chat?
All right, here you go, Lawn Man, South Towner.
Lawn Man, this is the quad you've been waiting on, my friend.
That's
you
right.
and Big Dave. Big Dave's still with us, ain't he?
I think Big Daddy Dave said he'd be back, and Jacket Lover will be on this too.
Yeah, Jacket Lover will be in this 4A.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
we got the quad up for you fellas, and we're going to start it off here in quad 1, Lee, and of course that's Betsy, the Cyclones. 90% of our fan base like them to beat East Ridge.
Yes, sir.
And of course they beat Science Hill, they beat Daniel Booden, they beat Greenville, and they beat Sullivan Central. You're looking at East Ridge, Lee, they lost to Bledsoe County. East Hamilton, they lost to Anderson County, lost to Howard.
Mm-hmm.
The Pioneers under Tim James at 6-4. I don't think they get Elizabethton this year. Do you?
No, sir. Betsy.
East Hamilton and Sullivan South League, maybe the best
game.
4A game in the state. This is going to be a good one right here. Grant Reynolds, I was kind of giving him a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
He's serving his boys steak dinners tonight. He said that's the first round tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him what he gets for quarterfinals, and he said you get a bigger steak. So I told him if they reach the semifinals, I'll be waiting on the invitation there.
That sounds good.
Sullivan South 8-2 lead. Their only losses were to Greenville and Elizabethton. Then you look at East Hamilton, lost to Red Bank, Walker Valley, Anderson County. Anderson County put it on them pretty good, 43-14.
Yes.
I thought they would play Anderson County a little bit better this year, but Anderson County's got a really good ball team.
Oh man, that's a tough out, buddy.
And Grant Reynolds, one of my favorites, man. But he's got a tough game tomorrow night,
Yes.
man. What do you think?
I'm gonna go Sullivan South, Mike.
That's very understandable because they played They played Betsy pretty close the last 2 years. Justin Hilton has got a good ball team over there, no doubt. Senior heavy team.
Both these teams are pretty tested.
This is tough. This is a real tough pick for me, Lee.
Is that East Hamilton?
I think the smart money's on Sullivan South just based on the fact that they played Betsy,
Man
who
likes
I think
Hamilton. Jacket Lover likes Hamilton.
I'm going Hamilton. I think I was trying to build up to that before you said that, but I'm gonna go Hamilton. But I think the smart money's on South. But I ain't
Sullivan South on the road.
I ain't the smartest guy in the world, so I'm gonna go with Grant Reynolds to win that. Bottom half of this bracket will be hosting Lee Teat, provided it's not the same region as Elizabethton, who I think is going to take the top half. Greenville and Howard was a forfeit. I think no, that wasn't what soccer. He was talking about another team, but Howard is maybe he was talking about. I don't remember.
They're coveted.
Yeah, they're coveted. They're out. Anderson County and Granger, the Mavericks. 88% of our fan base on Twitter at Tennessee Sports. Like the Mavs, and I just mentioned it, Lee. I think Davey Gillum's team is really, really good. Maybe one of the best they've had. Lost to Powell by 2 points. They lost to South Dole by 1 point.
Yes, sir.
They're stacked. South Towner likes Elizabethton in quad 1. He likes Anderson County. I like Anderson County, and I agree with him. I like Elizabethton.
I like Betsy in this quad, but that Anderson County Elizabethton game, I think that's who's going to meet up in the quarterfinals. That should be
you think Anderson County gets by Greenville then,
yeah,
huh?
I do, yeah.
And they don't normally.
I do.
You think they do this year?
Yeah, they get them.
I do too, but I think that'll be a ball game, Lee. I ain't just going to write it in. I think it'll be a tough game.
Yeah, I like Anderson County.
Betsy
out of the quad, but I think those two will meet up.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, but I think that's going to be a tough game. Green Devils are always tough.
You know what's good about that? Elizabethton's going to catch the winner of that Greenville, what we project to be the Greenville-Anderson County, and they'll beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, and we talked about that with Shawn Witten, a few weeks back.
That's a tough road to go.
That's a huge – that first game between Betsy and Greenville is huge because you get to dodge Anderson County. And that's exactly right. Yeah. All right, Lee, looking at Quad 2 in Class 4A.
Yes, sir.
And that's a tough quad, really tough quad. I'm really happy that DeKalb County is going to get to play.
Yes.
It didn't look like they were going to get to play, but my understanding is the school board changed the rules?
Well, they went to the contact tracing rules that most of the surrounding counties were using. They didn't have that in place, I don't think.
Okay.
And when they went to that, I think they even called an emergency board meeting to try to resolve this because it was kind of a 50-50 up in the air thing of how they wanted to handle it, which I'm glad it worked out for Coach Trout.
Absolutely.
And I think DeKalb gets it done against Spring Hill.
Yeah, 73% of our fan base like the Tigers to win this one. I don't know if they're going to be full force or not, Lee. I don't know if any of those kids are going to have to sit this one out. I suspect probably some will, but I think they'll have enough to play, and beat Spring Hill. Spring Hill, they lost the first 6 games, Lee. They won 3 of their last 4, including Maplewood and Richland. They played Marshall County close, so if DeKalb County is not at full force, this may be a ball game. But if they got everybody back, I like the Tigers to win pretty easily. Nolensville and Livingston Academy.
Nolensville.
Bottom half of that, Nolensville hosting Livingston Academy. 83% of our fan base likes them. They lost to Brentwood, Columbia, and Tullahoma. They did beat a good Watertown team, beat Marshall County last week to get this home field.
Yeah, that surprised me. I had Marshall in that game.
I did too, but Coach Derrick's good, and Ryder Gallardi's a really good 3-year starter quarterback. So not a huge surprise.
You're going Nolensville.
I'm going Nolensville, absolutely.
All right.
Macon County, Marshall County, Lee. This may turn out to be a really good game right here. Marshall County again wound up losing last week to Nolensville, as we just mentioned. Macon County. I think their only loss was to DeKalb County in region play. Of course, they did lose to Trousdale County, but they beat Livingston Academy, to lock in that second seed last week.
That's a pretty long trip for Marshall County.
That's a long trip. That's a tough game, man. I think I'm going to go with Hammonds, though. I'm going to go with Marshall County to win on the road.
I like Marshall County on the road, but that is not going to be an easy test.
It's not going to be an easy test. Kyle Shoulder's got a good squad
Yes, he
there.
does.
But
He's
I'm
a
going
good
to go
coach.
with the Tigers. Everybody likes the Cab, Nolensville, Marshall County, and Tullahoma. They're right there with us so far. Tullahoma hosts Stone Memorial. I think John Olives has said repeatedly this year is the best Tullahoma squad he's ever had, Lee. I've got to see him a couple times. 92% of our fan base like Tullahoma. I like Tullahoma to win this game. I like Tullahoma to come out of this quad.
I do too.
All right. Yep. Switching the screen. Thanks to is Jackie Lover still with us?
Oh, yeah, he's on.
Is he on?
Oh, yeah. He just said Tullahoma out of quad too as well.
Yeah. Just making sure. He's the guy that keeps me in check here. I want to make sure he's still with us. And the reason why I want to make sure he's with us, Lee, is because.
About to talk about your quad.
What's the first game? That's the Springfield Yellow Jackets.
Yes,
83% of our fan base likes Dustin Wilson's squad. Only loss this year was the Hammonds bunch over at Marshall County. Lee. They beat Creekwood. They beat Wilson Central. And White House. That was about mid-season. It wasn't too early.
Yeah, but you know Coach Wilson, what's he do going in the playoffs?
He peaks at the end. You're right.
Yep.
They beat White House Heritage, a good Patriot squad. Hosting Jackson Southside, that struggled 2-6. Their only wins were Chester County and Liberty, programs that are struggling this year. Springfield. Hardin County, White House Heritage, Lee. Stetson Dickerson squad lost to Springfield, Creekwood, and Westmoreland. This is a good Patriots team. They're 7-3. Won 2 games last year. If you'll remember, they were out of the playoffs on the outside looking in. Won their last 2 games to make the playoffs. A lot of seniors off of that back this year. But Matthew Smith's squad is just loaded with talent.
Yeah, they're about to run into a buzzsaw with Hardin County.
Yeah, Hardin County's tough, man. Yep. I like Hardin County to win that one. Creekwood hosting Jackson Northside. Creekwood actually led Springfield at halftime last week, Lee. I watched that game on UPN 30. Coach Steele's got a really good –
He does a good job, man.
He does a great job. That's one of the coaches I meant to call this year, and I just dropped the ball and didn't get it done.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Hosting Jackson Northside 6-2. Their losses were to Hardin County and Lexington, so
they're tested.
They're tested, no doubt. But I was thinking Creekwood had I can't remember, their quarterback, man, looked really good last week. I'm sorry I don't remember his name. That kid plays both ways. He's tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Creekwood.
I'm gonna go Creekwood too. Lexington hosting White House, Lee. The Tigers, 70% like them. Their only loss was to Milan, 35-25. I think they get it done pretty easily in this. And who do you like in this quad? This is a tough quad right here. There's 3 teams you could potentially pick. I think Springfield, Hardin County, and Lexington are all really good football teams.
I think you're going to see it.
This may be the toughest one to pull a team out of.
Right now, looking at it, Mike, I think you'll see Springfield and Lexington meet up in the quarters.
So you think Springfield takes Hardin County out in the second round?
I do, because I think Springfield will take the air out of it and keep it on the ground, and they'll play pretty good defense. I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I'm going to go Springfield. How can you go against Wilson? He's been in the title game how many times?
Yeah, I agree. And Hudson has looked really good. Had a real big game last week.
I'm going to go Springfield.
Hudson.
Springfield versus Lexington. That'll be.
I don't know, Lee.
I'm going to go Springfield.
I think I am too. They got a big offensive line, man, and like you said, if they can eat up clock, keep that ball on the ground, move the ball, and keep it out of that high-powered offense of Hardin County, that's going to be a tough game right there. I'm glad I don't have to pick that game.
Terrible draw.
So coming out of this quad, you like?
Springfield.
You like Springfield?
Yeah.
I'm going to go – I think Lexington's going to get it done this year.
Really?
I do. I think Hollingsworth's got a really good team this year.
He does.
And he's hosting. He's hosting quarterfinals.
I'm going to stay with Coach Wilson until they prove me wrong.
I can't blame you for that. I'd say that's a smart money. All right, Lee, we're behind.
Yeah, not much.
Shocker.
We ain't much behind.
All right, let me get the quad 4 up here. I did have quad 3. Quad 4. Luckily, we only have a couple of games to talk about in this quad right here. Mr. Teat and Haywood obviously gets a bye. You got Millington and Dyersburg. I like Dyersburg. I'm not going to talk a lot about it on that. That's 3-7. Millington, Dyersburg lost to Ripley 51-44, and they had 2 COVID losses. So, and then you got Fayette-Ware and Crockett County. Fayette-Ware's a pretty good ball team now, Lee. Woodrow Low 7-2. Their losses were North Point Christian and Brighton, but look at Crockett County, lost to Dyer County, South Gibson and Lexington, and then they lost big to Dyersburg. I thought that was going to be a ball game. Lost 47-14 last week. Don't know if they're as good as I initially thought they were going to be, but I'm still going to. I think I'm going to pick a 4 seed to beat a 1 seed. What do you think about that?
You're going Crockett County?
I'm considering it.
I ain't. I'm going Wildcats.
You going Wildcats?
Yeah.
Fayette-Ware?
Yeah.
Well, I thought Crockett County was going to be tough preseason, and I think they played a much tougher schedule.
Oh, you definitely played enough.
I'm going to go Crockett in the upset in this one. You got to pick an upset somewhere. I'm going to go with that one. How about that?
That'd be good.
What's everybody got? Everybody like Springfield? Haywood, Springfield, round 4. Semis. Possibility.
Yeah, I like Haywood out of that quad.
Yeah, I do too. I didn't even say that, did I? Obviously, I like Haywood out of that quad. All right, Lee, you ready to move on to 5A, my friend?
Let's roll with it. Here you go, Long Man. We're talking.
No, Longman's 4A.
Yeah, but all these East Tennessee teams are right up there around him.
I got you. Crockett
good
and
East Tennessee teams.
Crockett, Sevier County. 71% of our fan base like Crockett. Lost to Ottawa and Science Hill. They've won 8 games in a row right now, Lee.
I like Crockett.
I like Crockett. South Dole, Daniel Boone. South Dole, we had Clark Duncan on with us earlier this year.
This will be an interesting game, buddy.
Lost Grace Christian, Central, and Powell. Boone has lost 4. They lost 4 of their first 5 games, and now they've won 4 of their last 5. Lost to Crockett, and they beat Greeneville in that run.
Lost by Betsy by 2.
Yeah, they played Betsy very close.
I'm going to go South Dole.
I'm going South Dole. That's a home team.
That's going to be a good game,
That's
though.
going to be a good game. Tennessee and Halls. Halls is playing really good,
Yes, they
Lee.
are.
Only 1 loss on the field this year. That was 21-14 loss to South Dole.
Scott Cummins is a good coach.
Yes, he is. After being off for 3 weeks with COVID, they beat Central and Gibbs. So they're playing really good right now.
Halls.
54% of our fan base like Halls to knock off Mike Mays and his Tennessee High squad, who lost to DB, lost to Greenville, lost to Crockett by 2. But they haven't played since October 16th.
I know it.
That's got a little bit of rust on it.
Yep.
All right, I'm with you. I'm going Halls.
Yep.
Central hosting Morristown East. Not going to waste a lot of time on this one. I think Nick Craney's squad gets it done. They lost to Powell. And, of course, they lost to Halls 20-16, but they beat South Dole, Gibbs, and Cleveland. So beat some good teams. Quad 2.
How you like out of that quad?
Oh, you would ask that, wouldn't you?
That's tough, buddy.
That's a tough quad right there, Lee Teat.
I say it right now. You gotta
Central's
think
at
Halls.
home. Central will be home if we get Halls. Central lost by 4 last time against Halls. Then you got South Dole and probably Crockett on the top half. I think South Dole faces Central.
Really?
Quarterfinals.
So
do you
who you
think?
pulling out of that?
I'm gonna pull Central out of it.
Out of that quad?
Yeah.
I'm going Halls.
You're going Halls.
That's a 3 seed I'm going with.
Lawman like Halls. Dang, Jackie Lover likes Crockett. Crockett's won a lot of games, but they've won a lot of close games. I don't know how long that luck's going to hold out. They have got Prince Colley.
Yes, they do.
He's a stud. All right, Lee, let's move on.
Green Machine. Somebody done chimed in and got on with us, Mike. AC will not beat the Green Machine. We'll see. We will see.
Well, I tried to tell you, Lee. I should have known he was going to get in there.
Yeah, it's good. I like it when they chime in.
Green Machine. All right, Lee, we're ready for Quad 2, 5A.
Another hard one to pick, buddy.
Yes, it is.
It's
West,
finally
Lenore
kills me.
City. We're not going to waste no time on that. And West
West.
will dominate that game. This one right here is going to be a tough one, Lee. Walker Valley hosting Powell. Of course, we had Drew Akins on earlier. He said his team's 100% healthy, playing good football right now. Facing off against Matt Lowe and that very potent offense of his.
Is this a shootout?
This is going to be a shootout. I agree with that. I think the winner's going to score 40 points in this game. How about that?
Buddy.
I'm going Powell.
I'm going to go Powell. But
I like Akins, but
I think this is gonna
Matt
be,
Lowe's a good playoff coach. He likes them close games.
And he's got quality wins over Beach, too, man.
Yeah, he does. His losses were to West and Oak Ridge. I mean, you know, Oak Ridge is pretty solid with Joe Gaddis. And you're right, beat Beach, Anderson County, beat Central, and beat South Dole. So he's beat some quality opponents. Oak Ridge and Saudi Daisy, as Coach Akins told us, Saudi Daisy's kind of down this year, 3-7. I think Oak Ridge romps in that one. Ray County and Fulton. That's another good team, good game right here. Leading. Fulton's been off for 2 weeks. You know, we had Rob Black on about 3 weeks ago, and he said they were going into quarantine for 2 weeks. They're back now. How much were they allowed to practice? I'd say very little the last 2 weeks. That's a concern. They won 4.
How does Ray County lose to Marion?
I don't get that. Did they know that? I'm not buying that. Some people might say, well, hey, they knew the game didn't matter, didn't amount to anything. I ain't buying it. You got a chance to have an undefeated season, so I'm not buying that. They lost to a 2A team. They're 5A. They're not supposed to do that if you're an undefeated 9-0 5A team. You're not supposed to lose to 2A. I don't care who it is. You're not supposed to lose to a 2A team.
I'm going to go in Ray County in this game.
I'm only going Ray County because Fulton's been off 2 weeks.
Right.
If Fulton had played the last 2 weeks, I'd go Fulton. But I don't know how they're going to come out after that long layoff.
Yeah, rusty.
I would assume they haven't been able to practice if it was quarantined.
No, they can't.
So, that's my only thing. It couldn't have been any game prep or very little game prep. And Mark Pemberton is a good playoff coach, too.
Yes.
He's a good playoff coach, no doubt about it.
So, who do you like out of that quad?
Out of that quad, I'm going to go
West.
I'm going West, no doubt. That's my number one team in the state all year, so
Quad
I'm definitely
two,
taking
going
West. All right, quad.
Big Daddy Days is Powell.
Well, that's a possibility. I mean, hey, they're a good ball team. Quad 3.
Quad 3. Over here in our neck of the woods.
And if you look at quad 3, we got Summit hosting Hillwood. Excuse me, I got a cough. Sorry about that.
Summit.
I like Summit. I'm getting a little dry, Lee. You getting a little dry? You need to take a drink?
Yeah, let's
Take a little drink.
drink coffee.
I'll leave my adult beverage on the floor. How's that? Sun drops adult beverage in. That's what I was talking about. Gallatin and Columbia Lee Teat.
Interesting game.
Yeah, it is. And of course, this whole quad is set up as a result of Shelbyville getting suspended for the fight with Franklin County. Shelbyville would have been the 2 seed in this quad. But as it sits now, Page got bumped up to the 2 seed, and now we got Gallatin and Columbia. Columbia would have been the 4 seed, now they're the 3 seed. Good thing for Gallatin, I think, because they would have had, I think, a tougher Page team had that not happened. Gallatin struggled this year, Lee. They beat Lebanon and Station Camp, Green Hills, and Glencliff. They lost to Mount Juliet, Wilson Central, Henry County, Collierville, and they got shut out by Hendersonville. Columbia struggled as well. They lost to Summit, Giles County, Franklin County, Page, and Shelbyville. I don't know who to pick in this one.
I'm going to go Columbia.
You going to go Columbia?
Yes, sir.
I can see that, man, because Gallatin's really struggled. But, I mean, I'm going to go Gallatin because they're home, but I don't have a real good feel for this one either way. I wouldn't be surprised if either team won. Page hosts Hillsboro, and Page is a team that really got screwed. They would have been playing Gallatin if Shelbyville hadn't gotten kicked out of the playoffs. Now they got a really good Hillsboro team coming in that beat Cane Ridge, beat Hillwood, and they lost to Pearl Cone in overtime, and they lost to Beach. I like Hillsboro. I like Hillsboro on the road to beat Page. Charles Rathbone's got a really young team.
Yeah, and he's going up against Coach Fitzgerald, who's a good playoff coach.
Yeah, I like Hill. I just think they got more athletes. I'm gonna go Hillsboro. Beach and Lincoln County. Won't waste no time. We'll go Beach, and I like Beach out of this. Wait a minute. Got Summit too.
I like Summit and Beach. Woo, buddy.
Beach would host Summit. That's gonna be at the ball game there.
Yeah. Are the brothers healthy by then?
They should be. Destin has played all year.
I'm going to go Beach.
Keaton. I'm going to go Summit because we had them as preseason number 1. So I'm going to go Summit only for that reason, Lee, because I don't like to prove myself wrong. So I'm going to go Summit. But, hey, Beach would be the smart pick, because the only loss was to Powell back in the first game of the year, 26-24. They beat Henry County, they beat Laverne, they beat Hillsboro, they beat Hendersonville. So I think the smart money's on Beach, but I'm going to go Summit just because. Henry County, this is quad 4. Let me swap screen before Jacket Lover gets on me. Quad 4. There we go. And quad 4 will host a semifinal game, as it says there on the display, Lee. And this is Henry County gets the bye. Brighton and Dyer County. I like Dyer County at 7-2. Their only losses were to Henry County and Munford. Northeast will get the other bye, and then Munford and Clarksville.
It's a toss-up to me.
I think I'm going to go with a Region 7 sweep.
Really?
Yeah, I think I am. Munford lost to Covington, Hardin County, and Evangelical Christian.
Yeah, it's ECS.
I'm gonna go with Isaac Shelby upset and a Region 7 sweep.
Region 7.
You going with that as well?
Who you like?
I'm gonna take Henry County out of that section there.
Out of that quad?
Yep, out of that quad, I like Henry County. You ready to roll into 6? Y'all ready to roll into 6? Y'all, let's point over there. Y'all, all of our. How many we got on here? We got 21 on right now, man. That's not a bad showing. How many of them are posting? Yeah. Southtown are still with us. Jacket Lover and Lawn Man. Eric Smith. Eric Smith's my boy right there, Lee. Eric Smith actually did the show with me a few times.
Green Machine.
When I needed to fill in a few times, he's actually done the Friday Man event with me on occasion. So Eric knows his stuff, man. He really knows his stuff. He said today he thought I had him co-hosting because of his beautiful looks or something. That wasn't it, Eric. He might have seen you. He might be slightly better looking than me, which that's not much. All right, where we at?
6, buddy. 6.
Well, yeah, 6. Oh, Dobbin Minutes is going to be in a 4-team region. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Sorry, I'm on 5A. 6A.
Switch screen.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
Is it up? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Dobbins Bennett and Cleveland. Lee, our boy Marty Wheeler. I watched that game last week. Ottawa, they were behind by like 10 points, Lee, in the fourth quarter. And they scored, got a 2-point conversion, got an onside kick, and came back and won that game. I was tickled to death, man. I was texting him at the end of the game. But he's up against a really good Indian squad this week.
Yeah.
I think he's still in rebuild phase. He's got some young players playing at key roles. And I love you, brother, but, yeah, it's going to be a good experience for your squad. But
DB.
Now, DB has lost her last 2 games, Lee, but it was to Science Hill and Alcoa. 82% of our fan base.
I didn't see that Science Hill loss.
Yeah, it shocked me. That shocked me.
I'm going to go DB.
I'm going to go DB just from an experience standpoint.
Right.
McMinn County is probably – this may be a sleeper right here, Lee, McMinn County. Their only loss was to Maryville 21-2. Of course, they beat Cleveland and Bradley Central and Ottawa and all the other teams in the region. Hosting Bearden. Watch out for Bearden now. They lost their first 5 games, Lee, but they won 4 of the last 5, including wins over Hard Valley, Jefferson County, and Science Hill, that team that beat DB.
Yeah, I know.
So watch out, man. Bearden may be a sleeper here in Quad 1.
I'm going to go McMinn County.
I ain't going to talk you out of that.
No, sir.
You like that tailback for
Yeah.
McMinn County, don't
Absolutely.
you? Hunt, was it Hunt? Is that his name? Jalen Hunt, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's I think he's Mr. Football candidate. So I would check that. I won't check that, Lee, because I can't remember. You don't mind if I check that real quick, do you? 6A,
Yeah.
Jalen Hunt, McMinn County. I thought he was.
Yeah.
You impressed that I knew that?
Oh.
I just can't do anything to impress you, Lee Teat. Dadgummit. Farragut's hosting Bradley Central.
What do you about this? What about this game, Mike?
Jalen Hunt actually was one of our nominations, by the way.
Yeah.
So no shock there.
This was a close game, man, in the first game of the season.
Yeah, it lost. Farragut lost to West Maryville and Dobbins Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they beat Bradley Central, like you said, 25-21 in the first meeting. Bradley Central's gotten better. They got some kids healthy that weren't there in that game. Who you like?
Gosh.
I'm going Bradley. Upset. How about that?
Yeah, let's go Bradley Central.
You going Bradley? Maryville Science Hill.
Maryville.
Ain't nobody going to beat Maryville. That defense is rocking the boat, man. They haven't given up more than 13 points in a game all year. Only 2 games this year their opponent scored over 10 points, Lee. That Maryville, Derek Hunt, Maryville defense is stud, man. They're really good.
Yep.
Offense is young and getting better. Watch out for the Rebels. No surprise there.
Yeah, you like out of that quad, Maryville?
I like Maryville out of that quad,
Absolutely.
as I do every year for the last 20 years.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's swap our screen over to 6A Quad 2, Lee. This will be an interesting quad right here. I think that's another situation, though, where you're going to like this first team we're going to talk about, Oakland. I didn't really understand the Oakland Warren County score last week. It was close. But I don't know if that ain't Kevin Creasy pulling some of his shenanigans. Because I looked up Max Preps, and I was like, well, did they play everybody? I don't even think he put the offensive stats up last week. Because I didn't see, was it Peterson, Horton, Jones?
Oh, Jordan James?
Jordan James. Yeah, I didn't see any stats for any of those kids last week. Now, did they not play, or did he just not put their stats up? I mean, that was a close game. I had to pull that
28-14,
up. Was it? I couldn't remember what it was. But that score kind of threw me off, Lee. I thought they would just, and granted, Taylor at Warren County's having a really good season, and I'm not taking anything away. He had 185 yards last week against Oakland. But who did Oakland play? Did they play as 36-20 actually, Lee?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oakland won that game. 16-point game though, and then they had a 22-3 win over Coffee County the week before. I mean, this isn't Oakland Patriot football that you would expect here in the late games. Is Kevin Creasy, being smart with his players, not playing his studs? Have they dropped off? What's going on? I just can't get in that guy's head. I don't know. I mean, he should have been winning those 2 games by 40, 50 points, right? From a talent standpoint.
I would think
I'm
so,
asking.
But listen, man, Kevin's fine.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's always 3 moves ahead of everybody.
He's probably got the whoa.
Yeah.
On right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, he's got
I'm not saying anything negative about his coaching ability.
Yeah, he's got the whoa on.
But he's messing me up for my picking. And I'm picking him to beat Rossby, no doubt. But where I'm going with that is Mount Juliet Warren County game.
Yeah, that's what made it tough.
That's tough because is Warren County good enough to hang in there with Oakland, or was Oakland not playing everybody? That's the question. That's the $1 million question here. Lawman, quit worrying. I'm not worrying, Lawman. Dadgummit. I'm trying to beat Lee Teat in these picks.
Who you like right here?
I'm gonna go I'm gonna go opposite of Coach T. Coach T actually has Warren County on the big ones. Our fan base likes Mount Juliet, but I don't read nothing into that because we have over 300 people voted in this game, and probably 250 of them was Mount Juliet because they always really heavy participation in our polls. So I don't want to assume that everybody thinks Mount Juliet's going to win this game, but I think they will because I think there's something up with that darn Oakland Patriot team. I think Kevin Creasy's setting my ass up.
I'm gonna go Mount Juliet.
You going Mount Juliet? Because Warren County was the popular pick.
Well, Jacket Lover says that he don't think Mount Juliet can win in the first round.
Well,
They have trouble in the first round.
that makes me feel even better about my pick now.
I'm still going MJ.
You're going MJ. I'm going. I think Warren County. Like I say, man, Taylor had 185 yards rushing last week. The quarterback for Warren County.
Boy.
He's a Mr. Football semifinalist also.
He is tough.
I think he gives them a chance, but I think Mount Juliet at home will win this game.
Yeah.
But it's going to be close. Riverdale, Wilson Central.
Like Riverdale.
I like Riverdale also. Brad Dedman's team at 6-4 has played good. They lost to Springfield, BGA, MJ, and Hendersonville. They did beat Lebanon. They did beat Rossview, which beat Mount Juliet.
That's right.
So they've got some quality wins. But I like Riverdale. I think I'm pretty sure Holcomb's back now with that broke finger.
Yeah. They're only lost.
And they're a better team with him
CPA in
running.
Oakland.
Yeah. They've had a phenomenal
I'm
year.
going Riverdale.
And they beat Warren County pretty handily. Riverdale. Hendersonville hosting Blackman. Blackman eased into the playoffs, Lee, with a win over Cookeville at 4-5. Kit Hartsfield's team has struggled a little bit this year. Hendersonville's played well. I like them. Lost to Oakland Beach Independence. They beat Wilson Central and Rossview. They've got some quality wins. I'm going with them also. Smyrna and
Oakland out of quad 2.
Oakland out of quad 2.
Yes, sir.
I like Oakland out of quad 2 also. Thank you, Lee. I need to swap the screen. We've about got it in the books, folks. Hang with us. We've got 2 more quads, really 1 more quad because quad 4, no participation out of Region 8. Mm-hmm. All right, quad 3. So really this is just about going to wrap it up right here, Lee. This is a tough bracket to pick, though. Everybody like Oakland. Green Machines like going Riverdale? Surely he didn't mean out of the quad.
No. He's just picking that game.
Quad 3, Smyrna and Franklin Lee. Tough game to pick right here. Matt Williams' team's played well. His losses were to Pope John Paul II, Riverdale, Ravenwood. They did beat Cane Ridge, beat a pretty solid Laverne team.
Yeah, I like Smyrna.
You like Smyrna to beat Franklin?
Mm-hmm. It's a tough place to play.
You know Franklin beat Summit, don't you?
Yes.
Lost to Riverdale, Brentwood, Ravenwood, Independence. They got to go on the road to Smyrna. Matt Williams' squad. 51% of our fan base likes Smyrna. That's the closest vote I think we had out of all the games. I'm not going to talk you into changing your pick, am I? Going to Smyrna. I am too. Ravenwood gets the COVID win over Stewart's Creek. Yep. And Laverne and Independence, Lee, what's your thoughts on that one?
Indy.
Elaborate. What's your reason for that?
Coach Blade took one on the chin last week against Brentwood, real good Brentwood squad, but I just think they got too much firepower on offense, Mike. Now, can they stop Ray Bannon? I doubt it. Bannon's gonna get his Banner, excuse me. Banner's gonna get his numbers, but
he was Mr. Football semifinalist.
2 of them in this game.
Yeah. Indy's quarterback was too.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm going Indy, buddy.
Going Indy.
Yeah, too much firepower.
Yeah, that was Jackson Campbell. Jackson Campbell's a good two-way player. I think was it last week we had Scott Blade on with us, and he talked about Jackson Campbell. Man, he is a stud.
Yep. So I'm gonna go right now, Indy.
Indy, I like Indy to beat Laverne on the road, and that's a tough draw for Independence having going on the road with a 6-2 record. Brentwood and Cane Ridgely. Preseason, I would have said this is a game that may potentially decide a Cookville candidate.
Mm-hmm.
But Eddie Wood's team, I think, with limited practice and limited games this year, they're sitting here at 3-3. They beat Overton, McGavick, and Laverne. Lost to Smyrna, lost to Hillsboro, lost to Father Ryan. I got Brentwood in this one.
I like Brentwood.
All right, Ron Crawford, Brentwood. Who you like out of this quad? That's the question.
Brentwood.
I'm gonna go Ravenwood. I think Ravenwood is playing really good. They're battle tested with Pulaski Academy. Of course, they lost to Brentwood in overtime. They had IMG. They lost to CPA. They did beat Indy there to end the season. I think Ravenwood may be playing the best ball right now. So I'm gonna go Ravenwood. They would have to travel. They'll have to travel. They'll have to travel to Brentwood if they win, but they'll host the Independence if they beat Brentwood.
That's right.
Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. All right, Lee, and then moving on, obviously, to Quad 4, you've got Bartlett. You've got Houston. That'll be your second-round match. Then you got Collierville and Arlington. I'm probably going to go out of this quad. I don't give this quad any shot at beating Quad 3, but I'd have to go Bartlett, I think, right now out of this quad.
Yep.
Good with that?
Yes, sir.
Everybody good with that? Good point about Ravenwood. Well, there you go. I impressed somebody tonight anyway.
That's right. You want to do a quick rundown of the Mr. Football?
Yeah, we can do
We got
that.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Give them their money's worth anyway.
Give them their money's worth.
Yeah.
The candidates in Class 1A were Hunter Frame, South Pitt, Kyler Parker, Moore County, Kobe Stewart, Huntland, Jared Stone at South Pitt, and then Caden White at Moore County. Again, my only issue here, I'm not saying any of those kids are not worthy of the
but two
nomination, but
teams
I don't like the fact that you only got 3 teams involved in 5 nominations.
Right.
Personally, I mean, that's just me.
Oh, they
and
wanted
again,
to see Quad 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put that up. Keep me on.
Oh man was looking. There ain't much in Quad 4 really.
Yeah, ain't a whole lot to show. That's what we got, long man. Thank you, buddy, for reminding me of that. And then moving on down, Lee. 2A, you got Blake Carroll, really good player. Khalid Ganaway.
Solid.
Peabody, Will Meadows, Mace County, Colby Morgan on the night, and then Luke Myers we talked about earlier, South Greene. All good candidates. All of our choices have been in so far. 3A, Anthony Brown, Milan, the quarterback. Gray Carroll at Alcoa, Isaiah Cox at Alcoa, Martina Owens at Pearl Cone, and Ty Simpson at Westview in Class 3A. Class 4A, you had Axel Adino. We had him in. We had
from DeKalb.
Yep, we had Bryce Rollins on at Elizabethton, River Hunt at Hardin County, and we had Jacoby Thomas on at Tullahoma. Troy Parker Hughes, Elizabeth. Again, that's another situation where you got 2 from one team. Not saying either one of them are not deserving.
Rollins definitely is.
Oh, they're Bryce Rollins, in my opinion. Go ahead and give it to him. I mean, that kid has won 15, 25 games in a row as a starting quarterback with the numbers he's got 2A. And not taking anything away from other kids. Any other season, all of them would be deserving, but I don't know how you could vote against Bryce Rollins with what he's done there at Elizabethton. 5A, Fortner at Knox Central. Of course, we talked to those guys earlier. Johnson in Henry County. Prince Colley, we mentioned him earlier.
That's right.
David Crockett and Jordan Potts at Powell. What an amazing sophomore. And that may be what's going to shoot him down as being a sophomore. Destin Wade at Summit's having a good year.
That's a tough division. 5A's tough in every way you do. Everything you do with it's tough.
So that's going to be a tough, tight race right there in 5A. 6A, Raymond Banner. You talked about him. I know you've been on him all year.
Yeah, he's good.
Jackson Campbell at Independence, Jalen Hunt, McMinn County, and C.J. Taylor at Warren County. He's getting a lot of publicity.
Right.
A lot of people pulling for him. Tough 6A class.
Stool and Ravenwood.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Exactly.
So
that's our Mr. Football candidates.
Yep. And the kickers was.
Congratulations to all those kids, man.
Yeah, my buddy's.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Upton Belafonte. Congrats to you, buddy.
Yep. He Stewart's Creek, Bryson Flynn at Gatlinburg-Pittman. How you say that, Lee?
Tegan Linderly.
You ought to know him.
Yeah.
You know more about. And then Turk, I've seen him at Oakland, and this
right.
Wood kid at Lexington's unreal.
Yes.
I saw a video of him kicking like a 56-yarder in a game.
Right. So congrats.
Lee, my voice is about gone.
All
We're going
these
to wrap
guys,
this up.
buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Molder and Lee Teat, Friday main event. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us this week. We appreciate Coach T sponsors and Elaborate Images. We appreciate Marcia Howard and those guys. All right, for Lee Teat, I'm Mike Molder. We are signing off. See you guys next Thursday at 6 p.m.